AI is promising this massive revolution on the factory floor, a future of perfect efficiency. But the road to get there, well, it's filled with some very real and pretty challenging hurdles. So let's break down exactly why this revolution is taking a little longer than you might think.
I mean, the dream is incredible, right? Just imagine an AI system that's constantly monitoring everything in a factory, just listening to the hum of the machines. And way before a critical part fails or a bearing overheats, boom, the AI flags it for maintenance. No surprise shutdowns, no catastrophic failures, just perfectly smooth operations. This is the huge promise of AI-driven predictive maintenance.
But you've got to ask, if this technology is so revolutionary, why hasn't every factory on Earth already installed it? Why are we still talking about it like it's the future? Well, that is the big puzzle we're tackling in this explainer. The gap between the promise of AI and the messy reality of putting it to work, that's where things get really interesting.
Okay, so the first and honestly probably the biggest hurdle comes down to a classic rule from computer science: garbage in, garbage out. The fuel for any industrial AI is data, and the quality of that fuel, well, it's everything.
This quote from Tanner Das Lulago and Martin McDonald just nails it. The data is the bedrock. You can have the most brilliant AI algorithm in the world, but if you feed it junk data, you're only ever going to get junk predictions. It is truly that simple. And in a rough and tumble industrial environment, data is almost never perfect. Just think about it for a second. You've got sensors that might be slightly inaccurate, electrical noise from other giant machines interfering with signals, or maybe the data just drops out for a few seconds. Heck, even something as simple as the factory getting hotter in the summer can throw off the readings. Every single one of these issues pollutes the data stream that the AI has to rely on. And here's the bottom line. If an AI can't trust its own senses, the data it's getting, its predictions just become unreliable. And an unreliable prediction is actually worse than no prediction at all. It destroys trust and can lead to really expensive mistakes, completely defeating the whole point of investing in it in the first place.
Okay, so let's move on to our second hurdle, which builds right on that idea of trust. This one isn't about the data going in, but about understanding the decisions that are coming out. It's famous for being called the black box problem.
Picture this. The AI says, you need to shut down production line 3 immediately. An engineer naturally asks, why? And the AI basically just says, because the data patterns told me so. It can't explain its reasoning in a way that a human can actually understand. Its logic is all hidden away inside this complex, unexplainable black box.
You can see the core conflict right here. A human expert, they build trust by walking you through their logic. You can question them, you can understand how they got to their conclusion. A black box AI, on the other hand, just asks for a leap of faith. It's asking you to trust its answer without letting you see its work.
And you can imagine, in high-stakes industries like aerospace or auto manufacturing, just trust me is not an acceptable answer. Not even close. When safety is on the line, engineers and regulators need to know why a decision was made. This is exactly why there's a huge push for something called explainable AI, or XAI, basically building AIs that are designed to show their work and open up the hood on their own logic to build that absolutely critical human trust. Okay, so let's say you've got perfect data and an AI you can trust. You still have to make it actually work with everything you've already got. And this brings us to hurdle number 3, the massive challenge of integration.
AI is not like installing a new app on your phone. It has to plug into this incredibly complex ecosystem of existing technology. We're talking about connecting to IoT sensor platforms, talking to maintenance systems that might be 20 years old, and getting all these different pieces of new and old tech to play nicely together.
This whole process is a huge project all by itself, and it's not just about the tech. You have to train your entire workforce to trust the AI's recommendations and adopt completely new ways of working. It requires a deep organizational change, moving people away from routines they might have been doing for decades.
And that leads us directly to our fourth and final hurdle for today, the one that kind of underpins all the others, the sheer cost of getting started.
So when we talk about the costs of AI, it's so much more than just the software license. Just look at this breakdown. The hardware, all those sensors you need to collect that good data we talked about, that's a huge chunk. Then you add in the personnel training and the complex integration work, and you're looking at a major upfront investment.
Now, for a massive corporation, this kind of investment might be manageable. But for a small or medium-sized business, these high upfront costs can be a total deal breaker. And this creates a kind of technology gap where only the biggest players can really afford to get in the game.
So let's just do a quick recap of the 4 big hurdles we've covered. First, getting that high-quality data. Second, solving the black box trust problem. Third, navigating the incredible complexity of integration. And finally, of course, overcoming that significant upfront cost.
Ultimately, this all brings us to one final, really crucial thought. Successfully adopting AI isn't just about buying the latest piece of technology off the shelf. It's about building a solid foundation first, a foundation of clean data, human trust, seamless integration, and skilled people. And that leaves us with the real question. Is your organization truly ready for that?